Hello there, one and all. Raziel here. So I think enough time has passed, and you're not mistaken. What you see in the title is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a dual review on both John Wick and Brightburn. The reason why I'm doing a dual review is because this video is actually not going to be that long, covering both movies, and you'll see why in a moment. So, the first one I'm going to do, once again, as always, no spoilers, so, take it easy. But after these, later, I'd say mid next week, I'm actually going to do a full-blown spoiler talk for both John Wick, but I'm going to cover all three movies to explain why I'm doing the spoiler. And for Brightburn, I definitely want to do it's not so much a spoiler talk, but I will be spoiling things, but it's because there is a few things about this movie I definitely want to discuss. And if anybody wants to join in, feel free, but we'll get to that. For right now, the first review for John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. The reason why this is short is because, in all truth, folks, this was not a bad movie, but I'll say this. If you are a John Wick fan, Keanu Reeves fan, you enjoy fight scenes. I won't necessarily say martial arts because there's definitely a mixture in here, no direct line. But if you just enjoy fight scenes, gratuitous violence, I do mean gratuitous in one scene. I'll get to that with spoiler talk. But and if you're literally just a fan of the actors and actresses that are in this movie, by all means, definitely go see this because it will not let you down. That said, if you're not a hardcore fan over anything that I just listed, I would honestly say just wait for Netflix, buying on Blu-ray or whatnot. I would say get this for your library if you have Chapter 1 and 2, because to sum it up, what you see in the trailer, for the most part, is the movie. I mean, that's even the first trailer. And in a sense, that's not a bad thing. It's just the things that you don't see in the trailer are just the bits and pieces that lead from point A to point B. And eventually C. And that will be explained in spoiler 1 as well. That said, the few things I will talk about, the fight choreography is amazing. I mean, if you're following the movies, then you know that each movie takes place right after the next. So there were moments where at first glance I thought that some type of mistake, but you realize this is one after the other, only time has passed for us, so the poor guy must be tired. And they made it look so real. So I am sorry, I just got a message. And that is fantastic. I enjoyed that. His interaction with the other characters is also fine, but that's it. I mean, there's one scene where he meets one of the characters and he literally just sticks something in her face. And just like us, she even says it, "What, you stick something in my face and that's supposed to mean something?" Almost had me bust out laughing, but I kept a cool face throughout that movie. And that is literally it. I mean, there was talk that this was supposed to be the final one. It's not certain, but it does appear that there may be a next one. I mean, we know Hollywood. If you have a good cash cow, you just beat that poor thing down. So there'll probably be at least one, if not two more movies. I'm literally guessing, but I wouldn't be surprised. So as far as John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, if you're a hardcore fan, definitely go see it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, see Chapter 1 and 2. Or next week, come and see my recap spoiler talk where I will cover the basis of all three movies. And then if you want to see it after, have at it. But now that we've talked about John Wick Chapter 3, now I'd like to talk to you about Brightburn. Ooh, okay. First off, just like John Wick, what you see in the trailer, more or less, is the entire movie. That's another reason why I'm doing this dual review, because they're practically the same. Everything, literally 90% of what's in that trailer was the entire movie, almost from start to finish. And the premise is obvious. We see it. It's the Superman story. The only difference is what happens when Superman hit a certain age and the whole thought pattern went in a different direction. That's not even a spoiler. You see it in the trailer as well. Instead of constantly saying you'll see it in the trailer, Not spoiling. So if I say something that sounds like a spoiler, I guarantee you it was in the trailer. And sadly, there's not really too much I can say without spoiling any of the bits and pieces that they show. I will say this, though. This is not a superhero movie. This is not even a supervillain movie. This is just a straight-up horror film. And anybody who knows me, horror doesn't really do much for me because it's not scary. And I would say that for this one, too. It's not really scary. Now, if you're one of those people where you jump at a cricket, oh, you're going to love this. This will have you all over the place. But other than that, it's more suspense and tension. You see everything coming, but still, just the moments of atmosphere that they set up, I admit they did very well. There is one scene that if you're also a fellow gamer and you played the game Injustice: Gods Among Us, you're going to remember that scene. And it is far more elaborated than it was in the game, where even I kind of just stood there for a while. I had to take a moment after seeing that scene because that was hardcore. You'll know more in the spoiler talk. There's only one other scene, which is amazing because there aren't that many, but there's one other scene where once you see it in the trailer, you know what's going to happen. But when you see it in the movie and you see just how much devastation was done, I kid you not, I was mid-sipping my drink and I just blurted out one of the most random of words. And luckily, nobody got mad. Instead, people in the theater started laughing because the timing, you just didn't see it coming. And one thing I'll say, it's not so much the ending, it's the credits. Now, there's no post-credit thing. Same thing for John Wick, no post-credit. But there is a mid-credit little collection that they have. And obviously, I'll talk about it in the spoiler talk, but if they go this route, I'm on board because it is. I'm only saying it's a fascinating concept. As bad as this may make me sound, it's a fun concept because I haven't seen movies like this in quite some time. And that is definitely a big thumbs up for me. Whether you're a horror fan, superhero fan, even if you just want to check something out at random, I would honestly suggest going to see Brightburn. It definitely, at first you'll think you know exactly where it's going. And even by the end, you'll probably think, oh, I knew it was going that route. But the way it gets there, you'll probably sit there and think, wait a minute, I missed something. Because I ain't going to lie, I'm probably going to see that movie one more time. Because I'm pretty sure I understand the whole pattern, but I know there's little pieces here and there that I miss. Because to get from point A to point B to point C to, oh wow, point W, I know I missed some steps. So if you have a free couple of hours, I'd say choose Brightburn or John Wick 3. But between the two, unless you're a super big Keanu Reeves fan, I would honestly say Brightburn is the winner between the two. And if anybody's seen my last trailer review, this week I'm going to see Godzilla. I intend to see that. I'm hoping Thursday if it's not sold out. If so, I'll see it Friday. I will have a review for you on Sunday for that. I'm really hoping that's amazing. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I hope everybody's having a marvelous Memorial Day to come. And I hope everybody takes care. See you soon.